And what is up, Man Hour Nation? After Hour Show is here. We are live, raw and uncut. And I got the best damn host in the game. I'm talking about this man makes the ladies look pretty. This man has such small hands that his cock looks 12 freaking feet, baby. It is my man, That's right, Mr. John Hoffman. What is up, Hoffy? What's going on,
man? That is quite the intro. I don't think I could have done it better myself, Buck. How we doing?
Dude, I am fantastic. It is a great day, guys. Great day. And, guys, we have Week 3 pick'ems happening. Hoffy, tell the people about it.
Yeah, I mean, we got like Buck said, we got the Week 3 pick'ems. See if you got what it takes to take down me and Buck. Simple $1 gets you into the picks, and the winner takes home $100. Dollar bills.
$100 hairs. $100 hairs. We got XD Gamer in the chat. He says, bro, what's up, bro? We played the Chiefs. Calm down. You act like we suck. Hoffy, my man XD Gamer is a Jaguars fan.
I mean, 3 for 12 on third downs in back-to-back games, 0 for 3 in the red zone. I mean, that's sucky.
Yeah, that's definitely not good. Got the NFL expert in the chat as well, John Peoples. What's up, Peeps? What's going on, man? But Hoffy, you take the reins, big guy. You're in charge. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, you sent me these power rankings, and I mean, I took a look at them. And I got to say, there's some questionable calls in there. Starting off with number 10 right off the bat. I mean, if you're going to put an 0-2 team in your top 10, you certainly have the wrong 0-2 team. But
wow.
You know, I mean, it's a matter of just straight up mistakes with these Chargers. Time and time again, almost always at their worst possible moments. You know, the defense, which we thought was going to be pretty good, has really been what has hurt this team. I mean, the offense is not off the hook, but please justify to me how you're going to put the 0-2 Chargers at number 10 instead of somebody like, you know, the Bengals, who last year started 0-2 and still made the AFC Championship.
Right. So this is obviously a controversial pick for the simple fact that the Chargers are 0-2, right? Yes, the Chargers are 0-2, but look who they played week 1. They played arguably the best team in the AFC in the Miami Dolphins, and they went toe-to-toe with them. If they just would have had some better football IQ, they would have probably won that game, i.e. J.C. Jackson intercepting the ball and simply taking a knee in the end zone. And then, yes, they did get beat by Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans last week. But Ryan Tannehill played out of his mind, 20 for 26, and then he completed 2 deep balls. It was just pure bust coverage, pure fundamental issues. But fundamental issues can be fixed, right? The Chargers are still healthy going into week 3, going against the Minnesota Vikings at Minnesota. And they are still a really, really good team on paper. And why I do not have somebody else like the Cincinnati Bengals at number 10 is because the Bengals are hobbled right now. We see without Joe Burrow being 100%, they are just not a very good team. And Joe Burrow, in theory, could go on IR. And they are kind of entertaining that idea. If Joe Burrow goes on IR, he's out a minimum of 4 weeks. And they play like the Rams and then somebody that I think like the Cardinals like after that. But then they got some other shit teams. So they should have done it earlier, but we digress from that. But I do have the Chargers at number 10 because I still have faith in their roster. Their weakest point is their coaching staff, and I hope they'll figure it out. Maybe.
Speaking of hobbled, I mean, one team that you probably could have, you know, even slid into that 10 spot, which maybe a spoiler alert for the fact that, you know, now we know they're not in there, but maybe someone like the Cleveland Browns. Are they not in there because of someone like Chubb being out for this year, or is it the simple fact of Watson has just not been Watson-like thus far this year?
Yeah, so spoiler alert, I did slide the Cleveland Browns out because of their loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football last night. I mean, obviously, the Nick Chubb injury did have weight on it, right? When you lose one of the most high profile best running backs in the league, and I mean, it sucks, but the simple fact of the matter is Deshaun Watson has now played 10 games as a Cleveland Brown, and he has 11 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He is just not doing very good as a quarterback right now. What made him so great, so elusive in Houston was the way he used his legs, and right now it is almost like he needs a massage because his legs are getting like a cramped up. He needs to get rubbed out. But either way, I do have the Cleveland Browns sliding out of the top 10, not only because of the Nick Chubb injury, but because also of the play of Deshaun Watson, and possibly, just possibly, the addition of them possibly losing a receiver to the Kansas City Chiefs or the Indianapolis Colts or to the LA Rams.
Yeah, I mean, I did see that your boy Kareem Hunt was in town.
Yep.
Do you think that helps at all by bringing him back in? I mean, he knows the system.
Yeah.
Does that help the Browns? I mean, I think pass protection has really been a huge issue as well with this Cleveland Browns team.
Right. So the one thing why Kareem Hunt left Cleveland to go explore other options was because he wanted to be the guy. But the other teams that he visited, he would not have been the guy anyways. But the Saints still have Alvin Kamara. At the time, the Colts still had Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss. And then the Vikings still have that rookie running back as well. So obviously right now, the Browns for Kareem Hunt would make a lot of sense. And that would definitely perk my interest a lot because I think Kareem Hunt kind of came on last season. He was that goal line type of back, and he's ready to be that featured back again like he was in Kansas City before he beat up that girl, allegedly.
Allegedly. All right, moving on. At number 9, you have the Seattle Seahawks, who went into Detroit and had a pretty good game, beating a team that might have had their biggest win last week against in history against your Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, heck, it was a Super Bowl game for them.
Flashback to preseason week 1, I did have the Seahawks sitting at number 8 or number 7, I do believe. And then they got beat by the Rams. Not only did they get beat by the Rams, they pretty much got manhandled by the Rams, right? It was 30-13 of that final score. But then they go into Ford Field, Motor City of like America. UAW strike is fresh and hot and people are angry there. They go into a very hostile environment and they beat the Detroit Lions 37-31, which last week we had them at number 6, Hoffy, I do believe. So,
yep.
Now, obviously, at the time, week 1, we may have overreacted to the loss to the Rams. Guys, the Rams just went toe-to-toe with the San Francisco 49ers. The number 1 team in the NFL. They went toe-to-toe with the San Francisco 49ers. And so that Rams loss, maybe it isn't so bad. So I kind of put stock back into the Seahawks a little bit because I did like what they did. Geno Smith finally looked like a little bit of Geno Smith of last year, right? And they ran the ball and they just looked better, right? And let's just be honest, the Detroit Lions are a really, really good team. And they also went into Ford Field. Very tough place to play. Opening day. So I got to jump back on that Seahawks bandwagon.
Yeah, I mean, they had some critical penalties that almost, cost them that game and probably would have been the reason, a lot of people would have pointed as to why they lost. But like you said, Geno Smith looked like a baller. I mean, he had that wild sack he took.
Mm-hmm.
He might have upset America a little bit with, interrupting the referee while he was trying to talk to America.
You see that guy? Get out of my way, sir.
Try to talk to America here. So that being said, we'll move along to the team that they actually, went into their home stadium and beat them. But the Detroit Lions, I mean, to me, they looked unprepared in key moments against that Seattle team. I mean, the fight was there, but the execution just was not crisp.
Yeah, guys.
But you have them at number 8.
Yeah, guys. So just so you know, I do see all of your comments, and we will be addressing those comments here at the very end of the top 10 here. We have a lot of time to talk tonight, but I did move the Detroit Lions down from number 6 to number 8 because of the fact that they did lose. Now, it is not the fact that they lost, it is the fact of how they lost. And they do also have a key injury now. CJ Gardner-Johnson is now out for the season with a torn pec. Actually, he is out indefinitely, but a torn pec usually takes about 6 to 9 weeks to fully heal. If you have ever had a torn pec, it just hurts, right? Your whole chest will turn black and blue, and there's nothing you can do but heal and like rest that. And CJ Gardner-Johnson kind of had that swag that when they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, you saw that swag come out of him. And I think the Lions lost a little bit of the swag when he went down. So the Lions have a huge test coming up this week. And right now, I think they are still a number 8. They are a top 10 power ranked team sitting at number 8. But this week, when they do play the Atlanta Falcons, it's going to be a huge test for them to see what happens.
And moving on to number 7, and I'm sure this hurt your heart to put them there. I know you're a huge Lamar Jackson fan, but I mean, I think we got to start with giving credit to an undermanned quarterback group that, I mean, held a really extremely, good receiving group in the Bengals to, in check there. It was encouraging that their new offense finally looked like that new powerful offense that they expect to see through the season. But number 7, you have the Baltimore Ravens.
Right. So the Baltimore Ravens now are 2-0 on the season. They are first in the AFC North, a very, very good AFC North. Yes, there are 1-1 teams and 0-2 teams, but let's just be honest. The North is still a very, very tough division, top to bottom. Week 1, the Baltimore Ravens did beat the Houston Texans 25-9 at home. I was not really impressed, but many people were like, oh, slow it down, baby. Slow it down, right? New offensive coordinator. Let's get all these things put together. Week 2, they did look a lot more impressive, beating the Bengals 24-7. Yes, Joe Burrow did get hurt again. Yes, he only threw for like 120 yards or whatever it was. But the Bengals offense as a whole looked much improved, right? Now, injuries are starting to add up a little bit, right? Odell Beckham Jr. has a sprained ankle. Zay Flowers has like a strained hamstring, right? So we'll see how they can bounce back from these injuries. But number 7 is where I have the Ravens right now because I think a true test is coming up this week in the Indianapolis Colts. If they can dominate the Colts, they will continue to rise up the board. But if they battle the Colts, I think 7 is right where they need to be.
Yeah, and going off topic here a little bit in the fact that I'm going to bring up the Colts. I mean, we have to be encouraged and concerned at the same time about Anthony Richardson.
Right.
I mean, through 2 games, he's had some great passes, but in those 2 games, he's left both games with injuries. I think it was the knee injury the first game, concussion this last game. I mean, is he even going to be there? I hope so. I think that could be a great game and a great test for both teams. I mean, for Richardson to kind of see where he's at with his growth in the NFL, as well as this Ravens team.
Yeah, I do think Anthony Richards has cleared concussion protocols and is on pace to play Sunday versus the Ravens. And I feel like everybody is thinking like this could be the next Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. It is two similar style playing quarterbacks in Lamar Jackson and Anthony Richardson's. Like, I think it would be a great matchup, and it is going to be some must-see TV. And the Ravens are not winning the AFC North. It still goes through Pittsburgh. Sorry.
I mean, I don't know. 2 years ago, I mean, the Bengals are 0-2. 2 years ago, they were 1-1, and both years they won the North. So
right.
I still think that really, like you said, I mean, it could be the Steelers, it could be the Browns, it could be the Bengals, it could be the Ravens. I think it's must see TV per se to see who comes out in that AFC North. But
it is a 3-person race. Ravens will fold like they always do about week 12, week 13. Slow it down.
Right when Lamar snaps his ankle or
right.
has to miss the rest of the season.
We don't wish injury, Hoffies.
I'm not wishing. I'm just letting you know. I mean, facts are facts. Let's call a spade,
right.
in the words of my good friend Buck.
Yeah.
But moving to number 6 at 1-1, you have the Buffalo Bills, who, after a disappointing week 1, Josh
Right.
Allen had 3 interceptions, had a comeback game, no turnovers. The defense was more than up for the challenge, holding Las Vegas to only 10 points, and forcing 3 turnovers themselves. So at number 6, you have the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, so week 1, I was 100% off the Buffalo Bills bandwagon, 100%. I saw my man Alpha Rob in the chat earlier here, huge Buffalo Bills guy, and I this is the first time that like they have sniffed the top 10 for me, and I slid them into number 6. The reason why they are making their debut so high at number 6 is because the way they beat the Raiders, they just didn't like get lucky, or offense didn't blow them out, right? They had a dominant game up and down the field. Jimmy G, first game of the season, was 20 for 24, right? 150 it was 200 yards passing. Very, very, very efficient, right? With that being said, Jimmy G threw some timely interceptions. Josh Allen was finally patient. Josh Allen finally understood, hey, people know how to beat me. Let me be in the pocket and relax, and I'll throw the ball to them. Well, he didn't do that. And moving forward, they do play the Commanders. They should dominate the Commanders at Washington, D.C. next week, and then they play the Miami Dolphins in a AFC West really, really good game. But right now, I do have the Buffalo Bills sitting at number 6 because of strictly from the performance that they did versus the Raiders. Jets, let's just go ahead and just forget that game. I mean, I don't know. It was just bad all the way around.
Number 5, your hometown team here. You have the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wait. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Jesus Christ, whatever.
So the Chiefs are at number 5 because of the simple fact that they did lose to the Detroit Lions week 1. You can put an asterisk by that. You can do whatever you want, right? But the point of the matter is they did not have their 2 prolific star players on the field. They had 8 drops versus the Detroit Lions, and they're just simply out manhandled that whole game. They go next week. Jacksonville Jaguars, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars are supposed to be the best team in the AFC South, supposed to be this, supposed to be that. Very sloppy game, very, very game that could go either way. So I had the Chiefs right at number 5 still because they did win. And winning in the NFL, it adds up a lot, right? Whether you win by 100 or you win by 2, a win is a win is a win. And then when you win the way that they win, it was a sloppy win. Nothing could really go right. They could not get the running game going. The offense was kind of suspect at best. The defense won them that game. Let's just be flat out honest. Chris Jones' presence on the field alone won them that game. He played 30 snaps. Think about this. When the Kansas City Chiefs play the Chicago Bears this week, that offense versus a terrible Chicago Bears team will start to click. That defense will shut them down. The Kansas City Chiefs will be just fine. They are a number 5 team for a reason, because they can beat 25 other teams in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got Kelsey back. He had a touchdown. I mean, there was that one drive that he scored that touchdown on, and he just looked like a man that was on a mission, like he had something to prove. A huge 4th down sack from your boy Jones. Another half sack, a pass batted down, and like you said, only in a matter of 30 plays. So, I mean, shit. He starts playing every down.
Right.
We're gonna have some issues.
By the way, that sack was worth $2 million. Just want to put that out there.
Number 4, you have the 1-1 San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy had some overthrows. He did come up with a big touchdown drive before halftime. He delivered some big throws as well in that 4th quarter. Health of the secondary is where I start to wonder how deep this team's going to go. But I mean, injuries are to be expected in the NFL. But I think we've discussed this before. You'd rather have those injuries at the beginning of the year than at the end of the year. But at number 4, you have the San Francisco 49ers at
Yeah, so the 49ers are 2-0 after a tough fought game versus the LA Rams. It was a 10-point game until Sean McVay kicked that last second field goal and really effed me on the FanDuel bet pick. But hey, no beef taken, my man. But I did slide the 49ers down from number 1 to number 4. Why? Because I think we have seen ways that teams can beat San Francisco 49ers. The Rams, pass happy team, passed all over the 49ers. Let's just be flat out honest. They did not get pressure on aging Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford gave Ware that little stinky leg, looked at him, played ha ha boy, and still threw the ball for like 20 yards. It was a thing of beauty. However, the San Francisco 49ers are dropping in this week's power poll because of the way they played that game. Yes, they did have back-to-back road wins. Yes, they did dominate the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1, but they did not dominate the way I expected them to dominate the LA Rams. And we are starting to see flaws in Brock Purdy already. I've said it, guys. Brock Purdy is going to be a flash in the pan. And teams like the LA Rams, a terrible tanking LA Rams, right? They kind of expose them. The blueprint is out there to beat the 49ers. Now let's see if teams like the Dallas Cowboys, like the who else do they play? Like the I don't know who else they played. Like the Bengals and the Browns and the Jaguars. Let's see if those teams can emulate that blueprint that the Rams did and knock the 49ers off. And I think they got a really true test Monday night versus the New York Giants.
Moving along to number 3, you have the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean,
Yes.
they are 2-0. I mean, you could argue if Booty or whatever his name is on the Patriots catches that ball in week 1, they could have started that season 0-1. And I mean, there was times where it almost looked like they were trying to give that game away on Thursday against a trailer trash team in the Vikings that have a Lamborghini hanging under their carport. But at number 3, you have the Philadelphia Eagles.
So we could also say if the New England Patriots did not give up 16 points in that first quarter, they would have won that game as well. But like we said, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, brand new secondary, everything's starting to come together really, really well. And truth be told is they had a 21-point lead over the Minnesota Vikings at one point in this game. The Vikings kind of made a late comeback push, maybe they're playing prevent, yada, 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 whatever. But I did move the Eagles up in the rankings a little bit because of use of DeAndre Swift. I like the way that they started to run the ball a hell of a lot more. Justin Fields seemed to be playing with a little bit more urgency. Week one, he was very lackluster. He was kind of like just going through the motions. It seemed like he almost seemed like satisfied that he got paid, right? He's like, oh, man, I got paid. What do I need to work hard for now? Well, they got a really big test come Monday night, the double hitter Monday night game when they play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield. So this is a real test for them moving up this week as well. It seems like all of our top teams have really good tests this week, but this will be a true measuring stick for the Philadelphia Eagles. But right now I do have them moving up because I think they're starting to put the pieces together a little bit more, and that defense is starting to look a little bit more sound.
Absolutely. At number 2, you have Tua and his Miami Dolphins with his 2 superstar receivers. I mean, Tua played a flawless game.
Right.
I mean, week 1, we saw him tossing the ball 50-plus yards down the field. He did not, try and chance anything with Bill Belichick, putting the 3 safeties over the top. Took what was given to him and just continued to drive his offense down the field. Did look pretty spectacular. I think he is the first and only quarterback to start his career 5-0 against Bill Belichick. And it's not often that you see rookies that have success against Bill Belichick. So
right.
At number 2, you have the Miami Dolphins.
So I do have the Miami Dolphins unchanged from last week, just because there is a team that's a little bit better out there than them, a little bit more complete. Also, the one thing that has kind of been scaring me about the Miami Dolphins the last 2 games, right, is they only scored 7 points in the second half versus the New England Patriots. Not till the fourth quarter did they really score that final put away touchdown, right? I mean, the Patriots were pounded them. They had a 14-point second half, actually the game may have been tied, right? And then like the Dolphins I'm back and then score that late touchdown to seal the deal for that 24-17 win. But the issue that I have with the Miami Dolphins right now is the fact that their defense is kind of playing a lackluster bend don't break defense. They are letting teams go from 20-20 all that they want, and then they try to tighten it up in the red zone area. And you are not going to have success versus the Kansas City Chiefs when you do that. You are not going to have success. The Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen will throw interceptions in the red zone, but you are not going to have success like that versus the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Titans, hell, the Cowboys, or the Ravens. So the defense needs to tighten up a little bit, and then they will probably be the best team in the NFL.
At number 1, you have the Dallas Cowgirls. Correct me if I'm wrong in saying. Oh, I'm sorry, Cowboys. I will say, the Cowboys have had their best scoring margin in a 2-game stretch since the 1970 merger, with a whopping 60 points. That's better than both the 1971 and 95 Super Bowl runs that they have. Defensively, forcing 7 turnovers, allowing just 1 touchdown in 120 minutes of football. The offense can clearly, I think, do more. But I think you have to be happy with the success and what Dak has done with not turning the ball over, and protecting that football.
Yeah, so when we look at the Dallas Cowboys, they are the most complete team in the NFL right now. From top to bottom, offense, special teams, defense, they are the best team in the NFL. If they wouldn't given up that one pass play for 70 yards for Garrett Wilson late in the second quarter, they would have only given up 3 points all season long. That defense is the real deal. That offense is doing just enough right now to be humming along, right? We have to realize that they do have a new offensive play caller, a new offensive coordinator. It takes time for Mike McCarthy to get used to calling plays again. It takes Dak to understand, what the goal is, right? So the Cowboys will be just fine. And before people start saying, oh, it's just the New York Giants, oh, it's just the Jets, weren't we hyping up the Giants all off season? Didn't the Giants just come back and beat the Arizona Cardinals? They're down 21-3, and they come back and won that game. Very good team still. And the Jets still have all the weapons around them. They still have one of the best defenses in the league, and the Cowboys scored 30 points on them. So the Cowboys are the best team in the NFL, hands down. Right now, no team is going to beat them. Not the 49ers, not the Chargers, not the Eagles, not the Giants, not even the Kansas City Chiefs. No team is going to beat the Dallas Cowboys right now the way they are playing.
Yeah, the one thing they do have to correct is their red zone. Only converting half of their red zone possessions into touchdowns. But and you said it best. I think we could all say that the Jets have probably the best defense on paper coming into the season, and they put up 30 points on them. And clearly with the turnovers that they're creating, I think we could look at the Cowboys as having the best defense. We could argue that they might even be similar to the Super Bowl run of the Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
So one team. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
The one team I don't see in here, a little disappointed in it, is a team that's 2-0. They went 118 plus minutes before allowing their first touchdown. The longest team, this year in the NFL before surrendering a touchdown. And that's, a team that, like I said, is 2-0, and that's without their star player and Alvin Kamara, and that's the 2-0 New Orleans Saints.
Yes. So there are 3 teams that I wanted to slide into that number 10 position, and they're all from the South. The Saints, Buccaneers, and Falcons. They're all 2-0, and they seem to be playing somewhat good football right now. the New Orleans Saints had me on the edge of my seat the last 2 weeks. They had a last-second field goal to beat the Tennessee Titans week 1. The week 1 where Ryan Tannehill played like a college quarterback. Terrible, absolutely terrible from Ryan Tannehill. And they scored on a last-second field goal to beat the Tennessee Titans. Last night versus the Carolina Panthers, weren't they up? They were up 20-3 at one point, right? If I'm not mistaken, or 20-6. But their defense is kind of what scares me. Yes, they do have Lattimore. Yes, they do have Cam Jordan. But I don't think we're going to see the true power of the New Orleans Saints until
Honey Badger.
Well, they do have the Honey Badger, but he's like 50. But that's besides the point. We are not going to see the true power of the Saints until Alvin Kamara comes back. And for some reason, I feel like their whole offense is going to adjust once Alvin Kamara comes back, because I feel like they are going to try to force feed him the ball right now, just like the Kansas City Chiefs of a couple years ago, right? Addition by subtraction is kind of like the go-to formula. And right now, if you don't have a star running back, you're having to distribute the ball and try to figure out ways of how to do it. And that's what the Saints are doing well right now. But if I had to redo it again, I would probably slide the Bucs in at 10, and the Saints would be right about 11.
Yeah, and to go off of Joe's comment, I am looking forward to that 49ers Cowboys game. I think that's really going to tell us a lot as to, who is that, potential number 1 team in the NFC.
So this is the problem with looking forward to week 5. Not only are the fans looking forward to week 5, the players are probably looking forward to week 5 as well. The 49ers have 2 trap games coming up versus the New York Giants and the Arizona Cardinals. Those are 2 games that if they forget to show up, they're going to get smacked in the mouth. Now, luckily for them, they do play the New York Giants on Monday Night Football, so it's a little bit easier to get hyped. But then you play the Arizona Cardinals. Look out for that trap game. You
want to address this one?
XD Gamer says, where are the Jags? Well, let's see here. The Jags are an overrated team in the NFL. I've been saying this all season long. Let's flash back to the 2022 NFL season, XD Gamer. They were 9-8. Yes, they made the playoffs. Yes, they beat a terrible Chargers team in the playoffs. Give a comeback for 28 points down. I do believe. But you realize that they were 9-8 last season. They had to beat a third-string quarterback for the Tennessee Titans to even make it to the playoffs. Where did they improve this offseason? The Jacksonville Jaguars are a mediocre team right now. Their defense doesn't wow me. Their offense doesn't wow me. Hell, their special teams doesn't wow me. I have more faith in the Indianapolis Colts right now than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, I know the Jaguars beat the Colts, but you play that game again right now, the Colts will win that game by 10 points.
Yeah, I mean, you can't convert on 25% of your third downs and expect to win games, and then 0 for 3 in the red zone is atrocious personally.
And I believe XD Gamer said that the Jaguars have the worst offensive line in the league. So even you admit that your offense sucks. Sorry, my bad.
All right, let's see some of these comments that we missed.
Patrick's in the chat. He says, I love the show. Cowboys number 1. Yes, the Cowboys are the best team in the NFL, Javi. No doubt about it.
I am a Cowboy hater, but at this point, I'm running out of arguments with them.
Hill makes Fields look good. Are we referring to Taysom Hill? Is Alpha Rob dogging Justin Fields? There it is right there. It says, Buck, did you talk to Beastie about his MVP Fields? Hoffy, weren't you the one that sent me these? No. So Soup Boss sent me some stats, right? I posted them up on the Facebook page. Guess what, Hoffy? Mitchell Trubisky has better stats than Justin Fields' first 3 seasons in the NFL. Mitchell Trubisky has better stats than Justin Fields. Justin Fields is bad right now, guys. He is bad. 23 QBR ranking. You know who has a worse QBR ranking right now than Justin Fields? Nobody. He's dead last in the NFL, Javi. Dead freaking last.
Yeah, that's an MVP front runner for you. So
Guys,
but another one that we could talk about too, as far as QB comparison, is as we talk about Josh Allen being a top 3 quarterback. A lot of people have him at number 3, and you look at his stats, and I think you posted that one as well. But I mean, Dak Prescott is put up better numbers than him, and a lot of people say that Dak Prescott is overrated. So
yeah, see, stats can lie, right? Obviously, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills throw the ball a lot more than the Dallas Cowboys do, because they do like having running backs at center, but then the Buffalo Bills can't last for 13 seconds in overtime. But hey, it is what it is. So
much
obviously
like your sex life.
Obviously the numbers can lie, Mr. Small Hands. So I don't know. But guys, I just put a phone number up here on the old Facebook page, or on the stream here. It is 812-947-HOUR. That's 812-947-HOUR. And if you guys would like to call into the show, talk some shit, feel free to call in. Nobody is going to be discriminated. George Cross the Fourth says, do you think Cleveland goes after Mitchell from San Francisco? No, I do not think so. There are other options out there, other better options out there. Cam Akers, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Kareem Hunt, like Hoffy just brought up, and Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
also, Rojo from the Cowboys just got cut.
Yeah, you could go with that, but I think they're going to go with Hunt, somebody that's been in their system, knows the system, familiar with the system. And we talked about this before we went on air. Is he was released due to the fact that he wanted to be the number one,
right.
And now with Chubb out, hopefully he can come back next year. But man, that was disgusting. But
also, Jermaine Ford, he ran the ball like a man possessed. Let's just be honest. When they pitched the ball back and that guy was like 6 yards back and he got a first down out of that, I'm like, what the hell just happened? Speaking of Kareem Hunt, I saw earlier that there is an artery that runs through the back of your leg, the back of your knee, and apparently that artery got ruptured. And if that does not get repaired ASAP, he will lose his leg. So I'm just, guys, hopefully he can bounce back from that.
Another one I would actually look into too is Fournette. I mean, he's pretty still got some some tread on the tires. I mean, really holds his position as far as blocking. I mean, he did a great job for the Bucs. In fact, he was brought in just to kind of sit behind Rojo and relieve him of some of those number one carries, and he took over that number one spot as their running back. So Fournette is another one that I would like to look at.
Also, one more here. The Jets have 3 running backs on their roster that are pretty good. Michael Carter Jr., Delvin Cook, and of course they got Breece Hall as well. Maybe they would be entertaining of, it is hard to keep 3 mouths fed in the backfield. So
yeah. And I don't think they're going to be making noise with Wilson. I mean, he's to take the words out of Shannon Sharp's mouth. I don't know if you heard this one, but I mean, that guy couldn't play dead in a horror movie.
I actually don't watch any of those shows. They pretty much just piss me off anymore. XT Gamer says it's early, man. Wait, you'll see the Jags. We'll be better. We'll get rid of the rust. Huh. See, you have to be good to be able to build rust, XT Gamer. I mean, I don't want to dog your guys by any means, but to use the term rust, you have to have been there, done that, and working good, right? And then work off the rust. But I don't know. It is what it is. Patrick Edmonds is in the chat. Hafi. He says, not right now. The Cowboys scored 40 on a playoff caliber preseason team, then 30 on the Jets. They number 1.
Was he saying that they need to put up 40 on a playoff caliber team? Because last we checked, the Giants were in the playoffs last year. We talked them up about taking a step forward with, with their two guys. I know Barkley's hurt now; he's going to be out for a little bit, but he wasn't in week one. And Brian Daboll is a pretty solid coach. So,
right.
Again, being a huge Cowboy hater, I'm right there with Stephen A. Smith on shitting on them any chance I get. I mean, I think you got to give respect where respect is owed, and that's why they're number one at this very moment.
Arthur Brown is in it, like in the chat says Dalvin Cook looked lost. I don't think he's happy in New York. We have to realize that Dalvin Cook was signed literally was it before the last preseason game or like a day after the last preseason game? So he game one was his first reps out there. I think he got ball like 3 or 4 times, and then last week versus the Cowboys was really like his first really true game. So, I mean, obviously time will tell, but obviously a lot of players went to New York, Randall Cobb, Dalvin Cook, Allen Lazard, to play with Aaron Rodgers. And when your daddy isn't there, it takes time to find a new stepdad.
I'm still waiting on that Tua jersey that Arthur Brown's going to be sending me.
So speaking of jerseys, I did get a notification that my Lions jersey is supposed to be in tomorrow by 10 p.m. So Thursday I will have it on the show. So John, I will honor, I bet. Also, John and I, Hoffy, have a side bet happening here. He is a Raiders fan. I am a Chiefs fan, and we're doing our picks for the rest of the season. And whoever gets the most picks right will have to wear the opposing team jersey. So I'm kind of digging this jersey game bets here. XD Gamer says, but y'all call the Chargers rust and not us. That's crazy. Who called the Chargers rusty? I didn't call the Chargers rusty.
Nope.
Interesting. Dallas. Yeah. Peters out by week 6. Dallas is Peters.
Wishing injury again.
Who is Peters? Like Patrick Peterson? No, who's Peters?
Marcus Peters?
Marcus Peters. No, Marcus Peters plays for the I
was gonna say he's not on.
No, I think he signed back with the Raiders, didn't he? I don't know. Watson does look bad. Alpha Rob, you are absolutely right. Watson has to be the worst quarterback in the NFL right now. He actually had a 19.9 QBR ranking last night. 19.9. That's worse than Justin Fields 2023. And this guy's getting $350 million, 11 touchdowns to 9 interceptions in games. Jesus. Yes.
I mean, he had what, three turnovers, 2 of them returned for touchdowns.
Yeah, true. And he had 6 sacks last night too. Not because the offensive line, just because he was holding the ball in for way too long. So, Hoffy, let me ask you this question. I liked some DTR during the preseason. I thought DTR was like the second coming of Deshaun Watson in like Houston days. Do the Cleveland Browns possibly entertain the idea of sitting Deshaun Watson?
I don't think you can when you're paying him that kind of money.
Do you want to win or do you want to keep money happy?
Neither.
Listen,
no, I mean,
you guys need to go back and watch film of a DTR. He was good.
We keep talking about rust, and I mean, like you said, maybe he needs a couple massages before, pregame or something like that. But I mean, he has looked awful. I feel like he's had plenty of time to turn it around. He hasn't, but I mean, I still want to believe and think and give him the benefit of the doubt that he is going to turn it around. But I mean, when you have Cooper and Njoku, you had Chubb. I mean, with those weapons, how can you not be successful? I feel like even Wilson from the Jets could be successful with that roster. But then again, he's got a pretty good roster with the Jets, and he sucks donkey dick there too. So I mean, but
well, the problem with Deshaun Watson is he is not only playing bad; it's just his throws are so inaccurate. Like maybe he just needs to break it down, fundamentals, footwork, something. I don't know. Slang for fizzled. John, put down the beer, man. What the hell is John talking about, Hoffy? You are my resident gangster here. Slang for fizzled.
Slang for fizzled? What in
I'm
the
so confused.
flying fuck?
Arthur Brown says, I think Buck would look nice in a Tyreek Hill jersey. I already got a Tyreek Hill jersey, baby. The year the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, I got the nice Super Bowl patch on it. You know, this championship hat. I know a lot of people out there don't know what a championship hat.
Yeah, but
They
we're
don't know
talking aqua and orange. We're not talking red and white.
You know, honestly, if the
Jump on the bandwagon, baby.
Yeah, I might have to. I'm kind of fond of that aqua. It kind of makes me happy. In the famous words of Al Davis, just win, baby. Win, baby, win. Patrick Webber says, quit fucking off. Get you a Parsons jersey. I got a Parsons jersey too, baby. I got a Parsons jersey. Hell yeah. And I got a Sean Lee signed hat somewhere. Where's my
If
Sean
I get a Parsons jersey, I'm getting it in the Penn State white and blue. I ain't getting it in no freaking navy blue.
Greatest linebacker in Cowboy history right there, Sean Lee.
I thought you were going to say greatest linebacker in history. I was going to say, no, that's still the NFC East, but that belongs to Mr. Taylor.
I think I'm finally picking up what John's putting down. He says Dallas fizzle outs by week 6. Slang for fizzle. So Peters means fizzle, apparently, Huffy, which is slang for fizzled. So Peters means frizzled.
We each coach high school and deal with the fucking forever changing slang that, and right. I don't think either one of us have heard that one before, but
that has to be from like the 70s.
Do your kids use the fucking no cap?
Oh, dude, it's so dumb. No cap. Bet, son. Bet that. Just say okay, dog. Stupid.
No cap.
You'll be wearing it a while. I'll be wearing Michael Parsons for a while. How about number 12? Number 12 for who? When we think of number 12, Hoffy, who are we thinking of number 12?
Tom fucking Brady.
I was thinking more like Brandon Cooks for the Cowboys. Isn't he number 12?
Hey, I've said it. I think he's a pretty good pickup for that Cowboys team. I mean,
guess what? He's already hurt.
Yeah, he's always hurt. When's he not hurt? But when he's not hurt, I mean, he can take the top off the defense for, a couple quarters before he ends up in concussion protocol. And, hey, maybe they'll make it to the Super Bowl. First play of the game, he'll get fucking knocked out.
Who is number 12 for the Raiders? Any idea? I have no freaking idea. I'm pulling up the roster. Do they give me numbers? Yeah, I got numbers. Isn't that the guy that killed the girl? Number 12. What was the dude that killed the girl in a car wreck? Doing like 100.
It's Zay Jones, right?
Zay Jones?
That's not the one that killed the fucking.
There is no number 12 for the Raiders right now.
Did he mean to say number 17?
Devontae Adams. Hey, number 13 is Hunter Renfrow. That's the closest thing to 12. I don't know.
Yeah, they need to trade him. He doesn't even get to freaking see the field anymore.
The snake sea of the hands goes to the past.
Who needs to put the drinks down?
I don't know, man.
Sweet Jesus.
John is a Michigan native rooting for the Raiders. And earlier, Hoffy, you weren't here, but on the morning show, he said the cow that feeds the milk drinks the milk, or something like that. And he's like, my grandpa told me back in the day, the cow will drink the milk. So basically, what it means, what goes around comes around. Life is a circle. You guys. He's like, you guys. All right, guys, that is it for the after show tonight. Ruggs is the guy that I was thinking of, Hoffy.
Yeah.
Alfred Brown for the win.
He's on house arrest right now, isn't he? Hey, he'll be back in about 2-3 years.
Next year, baby. No, 2 years. He's already served 2 years of his 4-year sentence. He'll be back in 2 years, baby.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. So,
he'll be back in 2 years on the Miami Dolphins with Waddle and Hill.
Do you remember when Michael Vick got sentenced to federal prison for fighting those dogs, right?
Oh yeah, I was devastated. He was my.
I was really hoping that he would get granted work release and he could play for the Kansas City Chiefs because it was Leavenworth Federal Prison, and it's literally like 10 minutes from Arrowhead. I was like, oh, that'd be so cool if you could get like work release. I don't know. Arthur says John's bringing that brown liquor. It all comes back. Patrick, what in the world? You know what the cow thing is?
Drinking the brown liquor and fucking sniffing the white.
No, so the cow thing, Hoffy, like I said, the cow is drinking the milk. So it goes around, comes around, right? So the cow produces the milk, and the cow drinks the milk, and then it produces milk again. So it goes around, comes around, goes around, comes around.
I'm referring to Arthur Brown saying I'm drinking the brown liquor, aka the Coke, and I said I'm sniffing the white liquor.
Listen, you need to look up a song by Yellow Wolf called Honey Brown. That's a good song. If you know, you know. All right, guys, that's going to be it, Hoffy. Let's wrap it up, big guy. We got a great show tomorrow lined up, I guess. Maybe.
All right. That being said, don't forget to put in your $1 bet. Pick your weekly winners for week 3. Get yourself a chance to win $100 bills. Other than that, y'all have a wonderful night. Man Hour, we out.
Bye.